Hello, and welcome back to the Lovely Home Podcast. Today we are going to chat all things morning routine related, and we're going to learn 4 reasons why it is a good idea to have one and how we can start. All right, let's dive in. Welcome to the Lovely Home Podcast. I'm your host, Evelyn, and I'm here to help you feel more peace and less guilt in your mind, life, and home. Let's address and release the weight this world has put on our shoulders when it comes to our homes and create a place for peace. It's time to stop attacking your holy temple and start practicing grace. It's time to pour into your lovely home, sticky countertops and all. And it's time to create a life that you love. So settle in with your favorite notebook, pen, and your favorite sip, and let's chat about all things lovely. Happy Monday, my lovely friends. I hope you are all having a beautiful day, whether it's the morning or maybe you're finishing the day, and maybe it's not even Monday. Whatever day it is, just hello, and thank you so much for joining us over here. We are doing episode 11 today, and it's all about your morning routine. I love a good morning routine. It is just a wonderful way for us to be able to start our day. And I'm trying to not talk too much because then it's going to go into my tips that I have. But I just love a good morning routine. It is such a wonderful way to pour into ourselves and into our homes, and to really just make sure we are walking a life or walking through a season feeling lovely. So morning routines are a great way to do that. So let's go ahead and dive in, since I can barely keep myself from saying these things anyways. Reason number 1 as to why it is a good idea to have a morning routine is you start your day grounded. If you have a morning routine, that means you are keeping yourself accountable and saying that you will commit to doing things in your morning instead of just rolling with the punches and maybe just rolling out of bed, going straight to work, instead of having maybe some time for you to pour into yourself or setting time aside for you to be able to get ready for your day instead of just giving yourself 15 minutes to roll out the door. Having a morning routine helps ground you and make you feel more solid, not only in your life, but also in your home and in your mind. And that hits all 3 of the columns that All Things Lovely Co. focuses on, which is mind, life, and home. And a morning routine falls under the life category. Life stands for habits, routines, rhythms, systems, anything that you need in your life to get it to go smoothly and as rhythmatic as possible. So you get out of bed and you are already just getting out of your bed rolls you into your morning routine. And everyone's morning routine is different because we're all walking through different seasons. And I'll get into this a little later, but whenever you roll out of bed, you are putting your feet on the ground and you are committing to your day. I have a terrible habit of thinking that my day doesn't start until I get out of bed. That was a terrible habit that I had to really work on to stop, because what it was doing was getting me in this time trap where I was laying in bed thinking my day hasn't started, but the clock is still ticking. And so I was running late and I didn't give myself any time to get ready because I was just laying in bed, probably doom scrolling. And that was a terrible habit that I had to really work on to try to cut. And I'm still working on it. Some days I have that. So finding the things that hold you accountable to help you get out of bed in the first place is super important. But just knowing that when you roll out of bed, you are rolling into your morning routine, regardless of what is in your morning routine, and it is grounding you for your day. It is holding you accountable, and it is showing that you respect your time and you respect the clock and you acknowledge that the clock is saying that your morning has begun. Does that make sense? I hope so. So having a morning routine helps you get out of that rut that keeps you in your bed, and a morning routine helps you feel peace in your mind. This just randomly popped into my head. But I was in musical theater, and some of the things, whenever we were called out a command or a call, like go to stage left, go to stage right, we would yell out, "Thank you, stage right," or "Thank you, stage left." And sometimes it would say, like, you have this amount of time to get ready. And then you would call out, "Thank you, time." So some of y'all who are musical theater people and you're listening to this, you know exactly what I'm talking about, I hope. Or maybe that was just unique to our organization that I did musical theater with. But whenever you wake up in the morning and you are starting your day grounded in a morning routine, you are acknowledging the clock and you're saying, "Thank you, time," and you are getting the ball rolling. You're going through your thread of life in your morning, and that helps you start your day with a guilt-free mindset and feel lovely. So there you go. That is tip number 1. Now we're going to go on to tip number 2, which is, reason number 2. You're having a day before your day. This is wild, actually. So you are able to do so much in the morning. You only get 24 hours in a day. But at the same time, you get 24 hours in a day. How are you going to spend your 24 hours? Map out your day, like get a piece of paper and write out your usual day-to-day schedule. Like, what does it look like? You wake up, you go to work, maybe you go to school, maybe you're a stay-at-home mom, maybe you're a stay-at-home wife. What are you doing? If you are a stay-at-home mom, you have nap time, you have lunch time. Take just 10 minutes to really just write out what your day looks like as a whole. And don't add like things that you want to do, or don't add like super specific things. Just add like morning. This actually may not even take you 10 minutes. This may take you like 5. But just write out morning, I don't know, wherever you're going, your typical daily to-do happening things. And now I want you to, once you have that mapped out, I want you to look at it and really look at it and figure out how long do each of these things take. Lunch, sometimes an hour, maybe an hour and 30 minutes, depending on how slow or fast your kid eats. Just try to figure out what time, like how long does it take for you to be at work? How long does it take you to do this task? How long is your commute? We're trying to figure out what are you filling your 24 hours with. And so you also need to take into account your sleep. So how much are you sleeping? How many hours? And with that extra time that you have, you're able to really dive into your morning routines, your nighttime routines, figuring out your you time based off of, or you can figure out your you time from that list, because you realize I actually have an hour here that I can give to myself every day. And if not an hour, 30 minutes, 15, whatever. The goal here is to just remember that you have 24 hours. You can do so much in 24 hours. You have been blessed by your heavenly maker with 24 hours, and it is so easy to feel overwhelmed and think that we don't have enough time. But really, we do. We have 24 hours. And if you have to get up an hour earlier, that's okay. You're gonna live. If you have to stay up an hour later so you can get that extra sleep, that's okay. Whatever, if you are not a morning person, that's okay too. Morning routines are great. And I recommend, if you're not a morning person, still having something that's like 15 minutes for you. But a long morning routine, if you are not a morning person, is not necessary. Just because everyone is saying that you need it, or everyone is saying that mornings are the best time to be productive, mornings are the best time for this, and you're just not that kind of person, that's okay. Give yourself grace and say, I'm going to have my morning routine at night. Okay? That's okay. So, that was a huge tangent. I'm sorry. But now that you have your paper that tells you how long each thing typically takes, that can help you have a visual of knowing, okay, I can get up 30 minutes earlier and devote more time to myself. Or I can devote 30 more minutes to myself at the end of the day after my kids have gone to bed or after my husband and I eat dinner or whatever. Once you get home, it's okay for me to take 30 minutes to just do something for myself. That is okay. All right. Now, going back to tip number 2, since I have kind of strayed a bit from that, reason number 2, I will remind you, is you are able to have a day before your day. Just this morning, I got up at 5:40 because I had a workout class that I was going to that started at 6. I definitely should have gotten up at 5:30 like I initially planned, but when I woke up at 5:30, I was like, no. I stayed up late reading. I'm going to get an extra 10 minutes of sleep. So anyways, just this morning. So I woke up and I threw on my workout attire, brushed my teeth, put on deodorant, and then I got my water and my yoga mat and towel, and I was out the door by 5:50 so that I could get to my workout class that started at 6 on time. After my workout class, I was there until about 7:30-ish, and I came home, and when I got home, I made breakfast, I ate my breakfast, I did my self-affirmations, and I thought my husband was awake, so I went into the bedroom to say good morning, and then he was still asleep. Well, but then he woke up, and then he wanted me to cuddle. So I crawled in bed, and as I was laying in bed, I was thinking, oh, it's so sweet that in order for him to go to, like, something that brings him peace is holding me while he goes to sleep, and that helps him go to sleep. And I just thought that's just the sweetest thing, that I bring him peace. So my goal was to just lay in bed until he fell asleep, and then I was going to get up and start working on things, like record this podcast. Well, then I fell asleep because I too was feeling at peace. And you might be wondering, why am I telling you about this? I woke up an hour later and I literally thought it was a different morning because I had done so much. And even though it didn't sound like a lot, it was a lot. And I showered. So I basically had a whole morning before my morning. And then I woke up from my morning nap, in quotation marks, that was an accident and shouldn't have happened, thinking that it was a whole new morning. And that's crazy. It is wild that we are capable of having a whole morning before our morning actually starts. And we get to do that. Like, we get to devote time to ourselves and have pretty much a whole day before our day even begins. And it's just a day for ourselves. And that is so lovely if that is something you wish to pursue. But anyways, that is a reason that you could have a morning routine, is that you're basically just having a day before your day, and you're able to devote so much time to just you, to pursue your dreams, pursue your hobbies, do the things that you love and make you feel lovely. And you get to do it all before your day even begins, before anyone else is involved. And that is a beautiful thing about a morning routine. And you can also do that at night. So just know anything that I'm saying, you can also do at night. But nighttime is a little different because instead of starting you would be ending your day with your you time instead of starting it, which is totally okay too. All right, so that was reason number 2. And now we're moving on to reason number 3, which is a morning routine helps establish boundaries with yourself organically and not robotically. If you Google what is a morning routine or what should I have in morning routine, it's going to give you so many different step-by-step instructions of what your morning routine should entail. It has more of a robotic feel to it because you have to do this every day, this every day. You have to read this every day. You have to journal every day. You have to, it just gives this robot bought feeling to it whenever your morning routine should be peaceful and grace-filled and focused on you and what you want to do instead of you following it like it's telling you what to do. You are in control of your morning routine. You get to design what you do in it, and it does not have to be a step-by-step to-do list that everyone is kind of encouraging you to do. It's like how, like whenever you create a habit tracker and you're trying to create the habit of doing a specific task every day, if you have a morning routine and you're trying to get in the habit of doing that morning routine, you could be causing more overwhelm, anxiety, and guilt by having very, very specific robotic things on that habit tracker versus a general organic idea. So you want to be careful whenever you're designing a morning routine not to fill it with things that later on you could look back and feel guilt over not being able to complete it every day or anything like that. Your morning routine is a rhythm. Your morning routine is smooth running. It's a thread. It goes from here to there. It's easy. It's calm. It's peace-filled. It's grace-focused. It's beautiful. It does not have to be this go, 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 go. Check this off. You have to do this first before you do this. You can't check this off until you check off this. It does not have to be like that. So when you are showing up for yourself each morning and you're saying thank you time and you get out of bed and you feel grounded and you start having your day before your day, then you roll into the boundaries that you've set for yourself. And that is you're setting boundaries that are grace and kind and hold you accountable, and they keep you in your morning rhythm until you have moved out of it into your day. So let's see, like you would set boundaries like maybe no screen time, maybe no social media, maybe no work. Maybe you're not wanting to get started in work yet. So if you work it from home or what have you, so you are not checking emails. You are setting those boundaries that keep you on your thread of peace and help you feel like the lovely human that you are. And you are saying, I know that is coming. I know that is ahead. I know I'm going to be working later today. So I don't need to focus on that right now. I'm holding myself accountable and I'm setting boundaries that is keeping me in my morning rhythm. And I'm doing that organically and not like a robot. So you're basically just living your life. I don't know why, but that made me think of Matthew McConaughey. I'm like, you're living your life, man. I don't know. Does he say that somewhere? I don't know. L-I-V-I. Yeah, okay. Anyways, so that is reason number 3. So you want to help establish boundaries with yourself organically and not robotically. And you want your things to just be as lovely and you as possible. All right. I think I said all that I need to say about reason number 3, so let's go into reason number 4. A morning routine is overall great for your health, provides more energy and productivity and positivity for the rest of your day. Say that 3 times fast. So when you are doing your morning routine and you're showing up for yourself and you are doing the things that make you feel lovely and help you just have a day to yourself before your day even begins, you are giving yourself the energy and the motivation to keep going. You have started that ball, you've kicked it, and it's still rolling. And so you just want to continue rolling that ball into the rest of your day, which provides you with positivity because you're like looking back on yourself and you're saying, wow, I did that this morning. I'm so cool. I got up this morning. I went and I worked out. I then showered. I cooked myself breakfast. I took a morning nap with my husband. That was great. I had a morning before my morning and I'm ready to keep going. I'm ready to be productive. I'm ready to be positive. I'm ready to have energy for the rest of my day. No matter what I know is ahead of me, no matter what hurdles I'm going to have to jump, it's all going to be okay because I had a beautiful and lovely morning and I focused on myself and I fed myself and I poured into myself because I need to do that in order to pour into everything else that I have. My business, my family, my dog, my work, everything requires so much energy, positivity, and productivity. And morning routines help you get ready for that. There are certainly days, I need to say this, there are certainly days where your morning routine just does not happen. Sometimes you need that extra rest, or sometimes it is just so hard to get out of bed. I will forever have those days. I will never ever say that I will have this down perfectly and that I'm going to be able to do it every day. That's just not humanly possible for us to not have temptations that we can't overcome sometimes, like hitting snooze 5 billion times. That's a problem I have. I've addressed it so many times. I feel like I have a really hard time getting out of bed, but having a morning routine that keeps you accountable helps a lot with that. And so you just need to find the things that work for you and helps make you get out of bed. So sometimes what I would do on the weekends, when I did this last year a lot, on the weekends, whenever I was home from work, I didn't want to lay in bed for hours on my day off. I wanted to be productive. I wanted to have energy. I wanted to be positive. I wanted to have a morning routine. But a lot of the times, I wouldn't set an alarm because I wanted to just be able to sleep because I wasn't able to do that any other day of the week. And so then I would wake up on my own and then I'd lay in bed for hours doom scrolling. And I also noticed that whenever I was laying in bed on my day off for hours, that's whenever I would spend the most money. Because when you're laying in bed and you're doing nothing, you are having just ad after ad, and especially on Instagram. And whenever you're a paper girly like me and you love planners, and then you have a paper products company, so all that is in your feed are other people's planners, you bet this woman right here on the other side of your phone has spent a lot of money on other people's paper products. But anyways, I would notice that that was a terrible cycle because I would spend so much money on my days off because I would be so lazy just laying in bed. Anyways, a way that I stopped doing that and really started showing up for myself and my time a year ago, on my days off, I would book a grocery pickup time at the earliest time the grocery store had to offer. And so usually it was like 7 a.m. So I was committing to being in my car by 6:50 in order to pick up my groceries at 7. And that helped me get the ball rolling for my day because it was me showing up not only for me, but for the people that were expecting me to be there. And that really helped me get out of the cycle on my days off where I would just doom scroll, and it was so unhealthy. It gave me a purpose and a reason to be moving. And I needed that in order for this to happen. Nowadays, I have my workout classes. So I'm able to schedule those in advance and I show up for myself because I know that my classes are holding me accountable. They need me there. If I miss them, then I'm wasting money and I'm letting not only myself down, but I'm also letting the people there down too. That's a tip in its own, kind of, to find something that literally forces you to get out of bed and start moving. That can help you get that ball rolling if you have a really hard time saying thank you time and getting out of bed. So little recap on the 4 reasons why it's a good idea to have a morning routine. Reason number 1 was you start your day feeling grounded. Reason number 2, you're having a day before your day even begins. Reason number 3, it helps establish boundaries with yourself organically and not robotically. And reason number 4, it's overall great for your health, provides more energy, productivity, and positivity. Now, for the rest of the time on this podcast, I kind of want to tell you just some ways that you can build your own morning routine / rhythm. When you are creating a morning rhythm, you want to start your thread. That is the first thing. And starting your thread is acknowledging the clock and getting out of bed. That is what it means to start your thread. Next, you want to do your organic routines. I already kind of went on a little rant about how it bothers me when people are like, you need to do this, 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 and this. And I have found something that works really well for me and helps me not feel any sort of guilt when it comes to my routines. And that is this method. I don't have a name for it or anything. And I'm sure like there's nothing fancy about it, but just using general terms. In my morning routine that I have written inside of my lovely home planner, I have wake up, turn on lights, get ready, make coffee, do something lovely, do something active, do something helpful, and commute. Have a wonderful day. That is literally what is written in my morning routine in my planner. And I love that it is so vague because it gives me the freedom and the room to choose whatever it is that I want to do that makes me feel lovely. One day, doing something lovely might be journaling. Another day, doing something lovely might be laying next to Nathan like for 5 more minutes. That is giving me the freedom to do that, but I have to first wake up, acknowledge the clock, get ready, have my coffee, and then I do something lovely. And then I do something active. That could be me going and doing a workout class. That could be doing squats while I brush my teeth. That could be me doing jump roping. Whatever it is that I want to do that day that helps me feel lovely while doing something active, that is what I will pursue. Then I will do something helpful. This could be me cleaning an entire room, or this could be me just unloading the dishwasher, or this could be me taking out the trash. I don't know, but doing something that is helpful not only to me, but to everyone else in my house. That is what falls under that category. So I love having just a very vague outline written out instead of very detailed things, because I am caring more about having the habit of doing that outline versus doing the specific things in the outline. What do you want to do more of? You have to start small, but just having the general look of things like that doing something lovely, doing something active, doing something helpful is a great way to start a morning routine. And then once you get in the habit of doing the things that you love, then you can add on more things or you can take away. This method lets you fill your morning routine with whatever you can that day. You don't need to have 45 minutes to do all of these things. You can do it for 45 minutes one day, or you can do it all in 15. That's perfect. I love this method. It has been so wonderful and so helpful for me as I've been trying to show up for myself or create healthy habits and a peace-filled mindset that has grace as the foundation. So, my friends, you are going to write out your day, get a general gist of how long everything takes you so that you can then figure out how long you can devote to yourself, whether it's in the morning or in the evening. And then after you do that, you are going to write out 3 things that you want to start doing in your morning rhythm. And those 3 things will fall under the categories of something lovely that makes you feel lovely, and something that is active, and something that is helpful. Your active could literally be stretches. Your active could be walking the dog. Your active does not have to be anything fancy. It can on days where you want it to, but just having something in your morning that helps get your blood pumping is so important. And that's all that really matters. Not having a giant workout routine thing. So let me know what your 3 things are. I would absolutely love to see what you're going to be trying to build into your morning rhythm. I really hope this episode has been helpful for you. And so with that being said, we have now come to the end, which means it is time for our Would You Rather question. Would you rather spend a week with pirates or a week with ninjas? This is a no-brainer for me. I would absolutely spend a week with pirates. If you don't know me, then you do not know that I had a slight obsession that was totally unhealthy with Pirates of the Caribbean. I was obsessed. And actually, my favorite song of all time is actually one from Pirates of the Caribbean. One Day from At World's End by Hans Zimmer. By the way, if you want to look it up, absolutely stunning. I would absolutely love to, maybe not nowadays pirates, but if it's back then pirates, oh yeah, I would love to be on the ocean. I also really wanted to have a career on the ocean. and I almost went into the Coast Guard so that I could do so. That would be my answer. What would yours be? Let me know on Instagram. You can tag me at allthingslovely.co. You can email me at shopallthingslovelyco@gmail.com, or you can simply leave a review with your response to the Would You Rather question and some nice words. All right. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me on the Lovely Home Podcast today. And please remember that you are lovely, and so is your home. Bye, guys. See y'all next week. Thank you so much for gifting me your time today. If this podcast episode has encouraged you in any way, I would love to hear about it in a 5-star written review. And be sure to send it to a friend, because chances are she might be needing to hear it too. If you're feeling really snazzy, share this episode to your Instagram story and tag me at allthingslovely.co. You and your home are truly lovely, and I look forward to chatting with you again right here on the Lovely Home Podcast.